Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, January 29th. So today we have the moon in Taurus again all day. Of course, we just had our first quarter moon in Taurus early yesterday morning, and we are still very low and slow, finding our grounded point, finding a happy medium between trying to enjoy the present moment and, of course, trying to figure out what it is that our future selves, would enjoy as well. There's definitely a tug of war of trying to stay present, but yet projecting ourselves in the future because, of course, the first quarter moon is a time of action, a time of decision, a time of choice, and we have a lot of choices and decisions on our plate. Now, the moon in Taurus definitely wants us to take care of ourselves. We want to be comfortable. We want to stick to what is tried, tested, and true. We want to find the little bits of peace and happiness in the smaller things. Now, with 7 different aspects here today and 4 of them involving the moon, we are definitely trying to ground, trying to be present, but we have some very powerful energies projecting us into the future as well. So it is going to be a little bit of a tug of war, not going to create a whole lot of tension, definitely pushing us in the right direction. So the very first thing that we have on the go is Venus bumping into Uranus. So we have Venus, who is just fresh in this Piscean energy. Go ahead, check the astro forecast if you need a little bit of a deeper story on what the next couple of weeks are going to mean for us. And of course, Uranus is now forward, now direct in this Taurus energy. So Pisces energy and Taurus energy actually works really well together because the Piscean energy allows us to feel very deeply, allows us to check in with our intuition, to really tap into a new inspiration, new level of creativity, new dream, new vision. And of course, that Uranian energy, the great awakener that likes to give us breakthroughs and aha moments and downloads in this Piscean energy, helps us to ground it out. We're able to identify what makes us happy, what brings us a sense of joy and pleasure, and we're actually able to bring it into our physical bodies, our lower level intellect, and our heart chakra in order to actually see where it is that some of these elements can actually be brought to life. The moon is going to semi-square Jupiter, though. This isn't the nicest aspect. Jupiter, of course, about growth and expansion in this Aries energy, really acting on impulse, pushing us to put ourselves out there. This is the kind of underlying restlessness that we're all feeling. And the semi-square is a tension point because the moon in Taurus doesn't really want to project ourselves too far into the future. We're trying to find comfort and safety and stability in the present moment, in the here and now. So there is this push or pull, if you will, for us to boss up, for us to create new opportunities, for us to kind of project ourselves in the future moving forward. And then again, the grounding energy of this Taurus moon is bringing us back into this present moment and saying, hey, let's put the blinders on. Let's figure out how to make ourselves happy and safe and secure in the here and now before we go ahead and start creating all of these futuristic to-do lists that are just going to be super overwhelming. The moon is going to sextile Neptune, which is a beautiful energy. Neptune, of course, in Pisces energy in its place of power. Again, we have another aspect here with this Pisces and Taurus energy. Now, Neptune is really pushing for us to kind of align with our intuition, align with our higher self, to grasp a dream and a vision on what it is that we want to bring to life. And of course, emotionally speaking, in this Taurus energy, we're bringing it into our physical body. We're bringing it into our heart space. We're really kind of formulating a plan on what it is that we want to pour our time, energy, and efforts into. The moon does square Saturn, though, and this is a little bit of a tough aspect. A square is like getting into the boxing ring, and of course, Saturn being the lord of karma, he always kind of brings some tough love. And he is also ruling over roles, responsibilities, and basic structures. Now, when we talk about structures, we have to have structures in place. We have to have a strategy in place if we stand a chance in hell of actually building towards our dreams and our vision. The square that we're getting here today is likely going to bring up a lot of stubbornness, a lot of things that we're fixated on, a lot of aspects that we're not really comfortable in changing. But a square always kind of creates this conflict and tension in order for us to really truly see where change is needed the most. So wherever you're feeling frustrated and kind of resistant towards the changes that we have to make, towards the systems and structures that we have to build in order to house the dream that we want to manifest, that is the key indicator of where it is that the change is needed the most. So pay attention to your emotions. Now, it'll likely bring up a lot of negative narratives. Luckily for us, it's not going to stick around very long because we have a very powerful aspect between the sun trining Mars. So the sun is in Aquarius energy, Mars now direct in Gemini energy. We got some air on air action here. And of course, the sun is shining a bright light in this Aquarian energy on the possibilities of the future, on what it is that we want to create as far as a new vision goes. We have Mars over here ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires. And in this Gemini energy, yes, we've been kind of on the fence about things. We've been kind of debating in our intellectual battlefield on what and who deserves our energy, our love, our attention, our focus. This particular interaction is going to highlight a new sense of power in us. It's going to illuminate a brand new potential. It's going to trigger a push in us to actually go after what it is that we want. We're going to be downloaded with courage and boldness and bravery. We are going to be inspired and motivated and determined. We are gaining little tiny bits of clarity, and this particular energy is helping us to boss up. This is going to really boost our confidence and our motivation in all the right ways. We're feeling strong. We want to go ahead. We want to take action. We want to see the ball get rolling. We want to take the lead. We want to stay busy. And we're feeling like we're actually in a good time frame in order to take a particular action. And may I remind you, baby steps still count. So we're kind of feeling good about ourselves. We're feeling good about what it is that we want to pour our energy into. We have already identified what it is that we love, what it is that excites us. We are eager and ready to follow our passions and pursue this new path of happiness. And we're kind of excited about it. Now, shortly after, we get another beautiful aspect between Mercury and Uranus. So first of all, Mercury rules our lower level intellect, our ego intellect, where we can kind of, add logic and practicality to things, where we can communicate and formulate a plan. Uranus rules over the higher level of our intellect, where we connect with the higher realms of intelligence. This is where aha moments come in, where inspiration comes in, where vision comes in. Now we have Mercury in Capricorn energy, in Earth energy. We have Uranus in Taurus energy, in Earth energy. So we get some Earth on Earth action here. So what we can expect from this is an aha moment. There's a sudden shift in our perspective, in our perception, in our understanding, in our plans. This is like the breakthrough that we've been waiting for. This is when there's a huge tidbit, a huge puzzle piece of clarity coming in, really helping us to identify the vision that we're definitely eager to pursue. So just having this particular aspect and element take place, especially after the sun trines Mars, we are definitely feeling the forward motion here. And we aren't afraid to look forward, even though the moon in Taurus would prefer for us to just kind of stay in this comfy little bubble. These are inspiring thoughts. This is, bringing our heart space to life. The Taurus energy wants nothing more than happiness and joy and pleasure. And right now we have the excitement, we have the boldness, we have the bravery, we even have the clarity to go ahead and just open our minds up. We are starting to get the answers that we've been seeking. We are starting to see the forward motion. We are starting to kind of gain that clarity that we've been waiting on. And I feel like in a lot of ways, we are ready to abandon some of the old ways of thinking, some of our old habits, some of our old parts of self in order to actually move on. Now, because Mercury also rules over expression and communication, this is going to be a great time to have just general conversations with either random people or people close to you that suddenly inspire you to have a new idea. This is how the aha moments get created. This is how a perspective shift takes place. Just a general conversation, and then those light bulbs start popping off. So the fact that Mars and Mercury were both retrograde, they're both now direct. They went direct at the same degree, and now they're kind of spaced out a little bit, pushing forward, pushing to stay grounded, but pushing the mental capacities that we have, pushing our thoughts, pushing our ideas. We are definitely going to uncover a lot of new details and information that will help us sort out our plan and our strategy and how it is that we're going to move forward. So just, again, if you've been listening to me for any amount of time, you would know that just as we take huge leaps and bounds forward, that dark force agenda kicks in, tries to pull us back into a state of paralysis. And of course, we're going to see that happen because the moon goes ahead and semi-squares, which is a tension point, with Chiron, that wounded healer. So suddenly we were all bossed up. We were all juiced up on confidence, on boldness, on bravery. We're having these aha moments. We're having these dreams and visions. And suddenly our ego wants to speak fear into those dreams and visions. We want to start picking ourselves down, picking ourselves apart, coming up with all the reasons of why we shouldn't pursue this new path and why we should just learn to be content with the here and now. Well, that's great, except for the fact that we don't evolve when we stay the same. And we're really being pushed right now, triggered right now, to move forward, to grow. And so the moon kind of interacting with Chiron right now is highlighting all the reasons of why we should not move forward with our plans. And like I had mentioned, every single time we take 2 steps forward, that dark force agenda likes to bring us on back. But hopefully having the heads up means that you'll be able to kind of override that particular narrative, not sit in the funk for so long, and definitely stay inspired and looking forward.